Objection!
Goodness knows when you've been away forever, because... Oh... Cyclone bomb, or whatever it's called. Bomb cyclone? We had no power for 60 hours or so, and... holidays, and... my birthday. I'm old. But that's okay. With age comes wisdom, and wisdom... doesn't always help me in this game. Let's continue. Episode 3. Escapes. I see no room for misinterpretation of the facts. It was me. I swear it wasn't me. It wasn't me. I swear it wasn't me. The evidence and testimony we've seen and heard are conclusive. The victim was alone at the table when he drank from that poisoned cup of coffee. No, you're wrong. I know what I saw. I saw... I saw someone else there. A man. He's the real killer. Phoenix, what are you doing? Why won't anyone believe me? Well, I'd say that pretty much wraps this case up, wouldn't you? Mr. Wright. This court finds the defendant. This court is adjourned. January 6, 10:03 a.m. Wright & Co. Law Offices. Ah! The start of the new year always makes me feel like I can take on the whole world. I bet it does, Maya. So, I've decided that our resolution should be... Zavari, take on the world! What do you think? Sure, whatever, Maya, but I think maybe you've had more than enough mistletoe cake. Never! You've got to eat a lot of cake during New Year's. It's practically a tradition. Ooh. Like watching the fireworks on TV or playing a board game. Hey, pal! Detective Gumshoe. Happy New Year's, Detective! Likewise. Now listen up, Wright. I wanna... Here's to another fruitful year of lawyer-police cooperation. Yeah, me too. Alright, pal, you've got some explaining to... Have you got a holiday present for me, Detective? What? Well, here, have this. It's really nothing much, but... Yay, thanks! Look, pal, we need to have a talk. Take a seat. Hey, what about Pearly? You haven't forgotten her present, have you? No, I mean, yes, I mean, no. Are you doing this on purpose? I guess I'm busted. How did you like my first practical joke of the year? Very funny, pal. Now let's see how funny you think this is when I show you this. Or how funny it is when, whatever it is. What is it, a magazine? Hey, I want to see. Deadly poisoning brings guilty verdict. Defense attorney Wright trounced. Trounced? Let me see that. The defense attorney gave an almost childishly amateur performance yesterday. What the heck is this? It's a report, pal, about you. Listen to this! Mr. Wright must take a full responsibility for the ruling in this case. Well, and you don't tell me you don't remember anything about it. But I don't remember anything about it. When was this issue from anyway? December of last year, which I guess makes it last month? Which makes it old news, you mean? But I wasn't involved in a poisoning case in December. So what do you think this is all about, Nick? If it wasn't you, pal, then that leaves only one possibility. No way! You don't mean... A phony Nick? This must be Gumshoe's idea of a joke, as he's starting off the year with one, too. Magazine clipping added to the court record. Yes. Anyway, package arriving today? And what is in this package? Ah, okay. So, what are you gonna do about it, pal? What do you mean, what am I gonna do about it? Well, it's your fault that the judge found the defendant guilty in this case. My fault? How do you figure that? Because the Phoenix Wright is super famous now. Well, maybe only sort of. Yeah, see what happens when you hotshots start getting too full of yourselves? But I didn't do anything wrong, at least not that I remember. You better make this right, pal, now. And that means taking the case back to court, got it? Sounds like we've got a first case of the new year. Let's tackle it with gusto. I don't know, the judge already issued a guilty verdict once in this case. It's not going to be easy to get it overturned. I guess that's New Year's resolution is going to have to wait until next year. So you're taking the case, right? Good. I'm going to head over to the courthouse then. After that, I'll go back to the precinct. Drop by if you need anything, okay, pal? Oh, something is up. I guess people are starting to know the name Phoenix Wright. The client entrusts the case to me based on my reputation. I guess I am kind of responsible. But why would someone want to impersonate me? What sort of guy would do that? So, what's our first move? I guess we go down to the detention center and talk. Wait a sec, Nick! This person's behind bars because of you. Whoever it is isn't going to be jumping at the chance to meet you, right? Hey, let me get one thing straight. It wasn't me, it was fake me that did this. I wonder if he looks exactly like you. You're Phony... Yoff. I mean, I hope not. Ugh. And what kind of name for an evil double is Yoff, anyway? Ah, Nick, I got it! If you're going to ask whether I got a twin brother, the answer is no. Spoil sport. Did you notice Gumshoe was acting weirder than usual? Or was it just me? What do you mean? I mean, he was really worked up. Like a guy who's just found out he's going to be a dad or something. Yeah, I guess he was acting kind of strange. Maybe he realized he's got strong feelings for you, Nick. Considering how we interact, I seriously doubt that, Maya. Well, if he wasn't nervous because of you, then maybe it's because of our new guilty client. January 6th, detention center, visitor's room. I sit down. I try to play games. What do I get? My phone going off. This is so nerve-wracking, waiting to meet our new client. I wonder what kind of person you tricked and got found guilty. Keep it down, Maya. That kind of talk could ruin... Nah! Oh, it's her, isn't it? Is that the girl who was a cop? How could you, Mr. Wright? How could you do this to me? They put me in solitary. I haven't been able to stop crying. Aren't you? Yes, I am. I totally am utterly let down. Are you? Don't pretend you don't know me. It's me, Maggie, remember? Maggie Bird. Maggie Bird. Maggie Bird. She's the policewoman I defended that one time. She was accused of murdering her lover. He was a cop too. What are you doing in here? Didn't I get you a quick... Oh sure, very funny. After that fifth-rate defense job, you come in here and start making jokes? You better hurry up and tell her what happened, Nick. Oh, I see. So that's where we stand right now. I'm sorry you've been caught up in another murder. My whole life has been nothing but a whirlwind of bad luck and failures. I vaguely remember her saying the exact same thing last time. But I don't mind. What's one more disaster in my life? At least now the real Mr. Wright is here with me. I won't let the world keep me down, sir. So, that's it. So, how come you're dressed like that, Maggie? Last year you looked so sharp in that police uniform. I was fired after that incident last year. Oh, I'm sorry. It's okay. I don't mind one bit. I enjoyed being on the force, but I think it was time for me to move on. So, what do you do now? In the second act of The Life of Maggie Bird, I'm playing the role of a waitress. Oh, waitress? Yes, in a French restaurant. It's a small place, but it's quite fashionable. My charming smile and shapely figure come through for me. And the owner, Mr. Armstrong, hired me straight away, sir. And then you got into this mess straight away, right? Yeah, you could put it that way. And this whole mess started on the 3rd of last month. And it happened at Très Bien. Très Bien? Yes, it's a restaurant where good service and friendly smiles are incredibly included. Oh. There were 2 men at the table, both drinking coffee. And then... one of the men slipped some poison into the victim's cup. The victim took just 1 sip and was gasping for air. I was so shocked I passed out. Hey, hold on there, Maggie. What? You keep calling the guy the victim. Didn't you know the guy who was killed? Not at all. I've never even seen the guy before. Oh. So she wouldn't have had a motive to kill him then, I guess. And the other man, the killer... you saw him, right? Of course, a good waitress must be attentive to the clientele. Très bien. Yes. Very good. Very good indeed. So you saw the killer, but you were found guilty of the crime anyway? How come? You tell me, Mr. Wright. I guess the answer to my question is my phony. Anyway, she saw the killer. Better see if I can get a description of the guy. So, if you saw the murderer, why were you still convicted? Because no one else saw. Saw what? The other man. The one who put the poison in the victim's coffee. Everyone testified that way. Mr. Armstrong, the customer, everyone. The victim was sitting all alone at his table the whole time. But how's that possible? I don't know. But nobody, not one person would believe me, sir. Even Phoenix Wright, my last hope for a fair trial failed me. What a pathetic defense. My granny could have done a better job. Look, that wasn't me, okay? And then, I found something a bit incriminating in my apron pocket. What? A small bottle of poison. What? Poison? It was in your pocket? Well, I passed out when the victim collapsed. The killer must have slipped the poison into my pocket when I was unconscious. And no one else saw this other guy? No, sir, that's what everyone said, but I don't see how they could have missed him. I was the one who took the coffee to the 2 men. Oh? And what was your impression of them? Well, when I first saw them, I kind of thought they might be in the music industry. In music? How come? Well, one of them had some sort of earpiece and an emo musician look about him. And there was a sample CD on the table, sir. An earpiece and a sample CD, huh? Did you get a look at the CD at all? It had a band's name written on it. I think it was MC something. Hammer, no. They must have been preparing for their debut, I guess. So it was a band CD, maybe a promo disc? Maybe it was like MC Screwdriver. Get serious, Maya. Would you buy the CD of a group named that? What was the name of that group again? MC Hacksaw? No, MC... And what about the killer? What did he look like? Well, I don't really remember. Only that he was a young man, well built like the victim, really. Oh, yeah, I need to ask you about this. Hey, this article's about my case. Can you tell me anything about the guy who was pretending to be me? Yes, sir. It was the morning after I'd been arrested. I met you... That looks different. That's not him. I met you in the visitor's room. You were wearing one of your super sharp suits. Me? Yes, you, Mr. Wright. Ugh. Hey, Maggie! Was my evil double AM here too? No. I don't remember a phony you, Maya. Oh. That would have been so cool. Then you got really worked up and passionate. I want to get you cleared this crime. You said, okay, I get the picture, but you've met me in person before. So how come you didn't realize that guy wasn't the real me? I guess, looking back now, it was a little strange. Only a little. Well, okay, so you were a bit taller than normal, and you looked a bit shady. And your voice was a bit weird. Oh, and you had this kind of funny accent. So the guy was nothing like me then. But then you had your spiky hair and blue suit. Is that all it takes for someone to imitate me? How about everyone else in the courtroom, like the judge and the observers? Didn't they realize he was an imposter? Everyone had these big question marks on their faces, but it seemed that no one wanted to say anything, sir. This case just keeps getting weirder and weirder. Mr. Wright, do you think it's possible to get a retrial? Probably. The court ruled in absence of a genuine defense attorney. So we should be able to get a retrial. Mr. Wright? Do you think we'll win next time, sir? My life has been a full course of meal of bad luck, complete with defeat for dessert. Since I was 6 months old when I fell from the 9th floor of my apartment building, good lord, Lur. I've been hit by all sorts of vehicles, gotten sick from all sorts of foods, failed at almost every test I've taken, experienced almost every kind of disaster. I even landed a phony lawyer when I had the misfortune of being accused of murder. For the 2nd time! But I will survive, because Maggie Bird always lives to fight another day. And one day I'll find it, just you wait and see, sir. I'll find that one single moment of good luck. I feel that in my soul right now. Yes, I do. Zinhop is really gonna pay for this. What are you staring at me like that for? Maya's right. Whoever it is that thought it was a good idea to use my name and get an innocent girl convicted of murder had better watch out. We'll find him, don't you worry. We'll get Zinhop for you. Thank you. Oh, I'll tell you where Trey is. Right. The restaurant where the murder took place. Yes, sir. When you go, please tell Mr. Armstrong I said hi. Sure. All right, Nick. Let's go check out this restaurant and its food.